Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by notice sent to the official newspaper of the township, posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building, and filed with the township clerk as required by law on January 29, 2026. Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Here.
Mr. Cyphal?
Here.
Mr. McDade?
Here.
Mrs. Butcher? Here. Mayor Perry?
Here. All right, so tonight we have two budget discussions, one for police and one for the fire company. Chief?
Where's your department?
If you want to come up, we're kind of doing it as a round table discussion this year.
And now the right answer is they're out there solving crimes.
So, and what we have for you, Chief, is we have the overview document.
Sure.
We have the operating expenses. I don't think I have the capital expenses in front of me. Okay. Well, yeah, you can keep it. You need to answer more questions. So, as you're ready.
Well, capital's typical asking for vehicles. It's a standard, we're rotating them in and out. And the older vehicles come down and go to class 3s.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you call the order sometimes in the roll call?
Yes.
I was involved. Sorry.
Yep, all good.
Donna, for the record, Karen was not paying attention.
So just asking for in the capital vehicles. I'm asking for 3. We rotate the older vehicles down the line. Some become road job vehicles, and those go to the class 3s that we currently have. And rotate the older vehicles totally out or repurpose them somewhere else in the township if necessary.
Are there any vehicles that you're expecting to rotate totally out or hire?
Yes, there's at least one, might possibly 2.
They're just
Is that because
At the end of
wear,
life.
yeah.
Wear and tear, and it's not cost effective to continue sending that DPW to be fixed.
We have seen a fleet inventory. Typically, we get a fleet inventory when we start looking at those capital investments, whether it's your department and DPW. Do we get anything like that yet? Do we have better mileage and things like that?
Okay, thank you, go on.
And then the other thing is, some additional officers to add to the department. I did send you guys a breakdown of what's going on and a breakdown over the course of years. And obviously things are changing in town, and there's a need for that. Crime has gone up. One of the biggest things, obviously, is where we're being concentrated at, and the elements coming into the area, which I did state, and there are known narcotics and gang members coming in here now. You can see around as you go, not only domestic violence is up, burglaries and thefts are up, motor vehicle accidents are up. Everything is taking time and increasing what we have. If you look at the study that's done, based on what the FBI recommends, what they come up with, where we should be at, I realize it's not feasible. That's why I said 4 would get us through and get us in a position to staff patrol in a better place than we are now. And we did this study, I think 2 years ago, maybe 3, and they also recommend the same number 2. So it's not like I'm asking for anything that hasn't been verified.
Can I ask, how often do our officers have to go into Flemington for calls, assist them with calls, or how often do they come into Raritan Township?
It's not, it doesn't happen frequently. We, occasionally we go there for assistance, but it's, not a frequent event. No. And likewise, not coming here isn't. It does occur occasionally, but like I said, not a common
So
practice.
people typically, they respect the boundaries that.
For the most part, yeah. There's issues that do come up, but it's unrelated to boundaries.
Okay, what I wanted to understand is how many calls are we spending outside of the township?
Right. I look at that aspect because it's not something worth taking time. It's not that often we go in there.
What's the impact then of the traffic division this far? That we're kind of small in that regard. But 2, what's the impact then of that?
That definitely lessens the load patrol because they're able to pick up the motor vehicle accidents and the traffic complaints, and also run the 2 systems that we have out there. So they've been beneficial in that area and allows us to call the time to free up and those things. And then they also, in a supportive nature, if need be, can assist with calls.
They normally operate in the daytime hours?
They offer, yeah, it's at the month, it's Monday through Friday deal, and they usually run from 7 to 5, a 10-hour day. And then one guy works 9 to 7.
I know you had a traffic division in the past. How many did you have?
We never had a traffic division in the past.
I thought we did.
No, this is the first one we've ever had, a truly functioning
I
traffic.
think it started under,
No, I know. I thought
Yeah.
that was years ago. We had-
Well, if you want to call it traffic, it wasn't really that. It was a guy assigned to each shift that was just a traffic guy. It wasn't truly a traffic division. So it was your more proactive officer, and would go out and write tickets and stuff like that. But it wasn't truly a traffic division. You were assigned to a squad, and if that day had enough officers to do traffic, you do traffic. If not, you were regular patrolman that day. So.
Anything else on the roads that they do with, bridges, weight limits, trucks, tractor trailers,
So
anything like that?
they're getting heavily now into commercial vehicle, and they're really pushing, going training for that to beef up on that. Like I said, I explained in the past, commercial vehicle calls a lot of the state police. So they have, that's like the bread and butter with the violations, but there are some things that we as municipal can do, and I have them going and encouraging them to go to schools to learn how to do that aspect of it.
I see in your overview here that amount of overtime is really taxing the fatigue and everything on the staff. How much in overtime would you say was spent in 2025?
I had
Rough, right?
about 200.
I assume there's a certain amount. that
200 hours?
200,000.
Yeah.
Oh.
A certain amount you guys work anyway, right?
Yeah, because what had happened was on day shifts, it's a long-standing thing, was that day shifts were, or any shift for that matter, was running a minimum by contract. It could go down to a 3-man squad, and that was just not doable anymore. Because just, you have 3 guys tied up on a call now, you have no one on the road, so we had to go to the 4-man minimum, at least on day shifts at this point.
Is that more policy coming out of the state, policy coming out of police, like we get back up? How does that evolve? Or
So,
how has it evolved?
let's just say for any domestic violence call, you're always at least sending 2 officers to that. Any arrest, you're gonna have at least 2 officers there. It depends, if you have more than 1 suspect down there, you'll have to go 3, 4 officers in headquarters at a time. Depends how many people you have in there, but there's certain things, certain guidelines you have to follow.
So are there certain spots in town where there are calls that come in that would cause more officers to go to a certain location in town?
Absolutely.
So if we were to bring 4 new officers onto the department, how would you expect that would impact your overtime or?
Well, we'll cut down over time because you,
Yeah, like what we're saying, it wouldn't be 100% cut, it would be.
no, it would go back to a normal, what it was back when, 23, 24, like 60,000.
50,000?
60, 60,000, yeah. It may cut it a little bit more, but, it just, any more you can have control cuts back on that aspect of the minimums.
How many people are, how many officers in each squad?
Right now, 6 officers per squad.
To bring on a new officer, what are we looking at with salary, pension, health insurance, 100 grand? You can get back to us on that. Okay.
Call response time, and we had the safety study, and we reviewed it, preparing for some management. Are we being impacted as a function of all of this? With our call response time, or prioritization?
It is impacting, depending on what's going on that day. If the officers are tied up on something more involved now, you gotta break away so you can free an officer up from that, then go that. But we still have pretty good call response time, but there are occasions when things are a little slower than normal because of that.
And there's no, I think it's higher mutual aid, it's not really mutual aid, like what I think of with the fire department, right?
No, there is, well, we obviously have mutual, the fire department has mutual aid set up with other agencies too. We have it set up throughout the county. But that mutual aid is on a larger scale of incident, like an active shooter or something like that. We don't necessarily have a mutual aid situation going here. Yeah, nothing would rise to that level of that. The school incident or active shooter would be your mutual aid activation for us.
There's that facility over on Minnehaha. Has that gotten any better?
No. No, that's one of the time consumers for us. We're there at least once a week.
Squads.
Along with the Willows.
And we're on the Willows. Yeah.
I don't know what opportunities we may have there with that particular business, since that is taxing us.
Which business?
Is he talking?
Yeah.
Right next to that.
Yeah.
Across from the Concrete Brewery?
Yeah, that's also, like,
Yes. Yes. I don't know if there's precedent there, that's something we can speak with legal about.
Feels a little NIMBY, so I think that's a.
well, let's,
fine one.
yeah, let's focus on the budget then.
Yeah.
So that's something we can't fix. Is that it for capital?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, do you want to go through operating?
Sure.
Maybe just point out that maybe, focus on things that are changing from last year.
Really nothing's changed from last year. I kept it pretty much steady for that. A few minor things, just miscellaneous and,
Yeah, I think I saw miscellaneous advertising, they look like they changed a bit, like advertising is 16,000 and last year there was none spent, maybe that should move from somewhere else.
16th,
No. Oh, that's,
wait a minute.
It was just fire.
For the advertising.
I'm not advertising.
Oh, I see 1,000. Oh, and so actually,
yeah, I got you.
On the back.
So that's fire and,
Maybe that's,
Yeah, that's not.
Not you.
So that's not me,
no.
so this is just the first page. Okay. Yeah, it looked like it was pretty much the same. Okay. Any questions on operating?
Would there be subsequent increase in the OpEx with an investment in the FTEs?
No, if we kept it this way, definitely it's workable all the way around.
Yeah, I guess that is another question of how many more vehicles would we need? If we were to get 4 more officers, does that mean 4 more vehicles?
No.
Make it work?
Make it
It's
work.
stuck in rotation.
We make it work. With what's in the capital now, we make it work.
What mileage are you getting to when you decide you need to turn it over? Because we have like an annual investment, it feels kind of routine, but I'm trying to.
We
get over
kind of
it.
push it to like 120. That's not really good, but we do push it there. We rotate a car out.
Yeah, the figure for 750.
Yeah, but we're looking at 120 because just, stop and go and break, so all that stuff to wear down. I don't like to keep on the road that long, so that's why I try to go around 120-ish, unless the car starts to really fall apart.
But then those are the ones you can hand off to.
Hand off,
So it
yeah,
still gets.
we still get used out. Yeah, we'll get pushed off in other parts.
So it's the rest of it.
how many years is 120? 3 years?
It depends, you can get through the years out of it.
Okay.
and then DPW evaluates those when they're end of life.
Yeah, 6 months, make them run, basically.
Okay. I have no more questions. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for everything you do.
Did you model the interest?
Yeah.
Right, that and that other.
All you guys just sit up here.
All right, one little.
Like a chicken.
Michael's gonna sit on my lap, I sent things late in the day, so when I hand this out, this is this is our 10-year plan that we had shared just to go back. And then did you get Rob, you said you got this?
I have a 5-page.
Yeah.
5-pager.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got this. Not that big.
One more,
yeah, that's,
thank you. One more.
Thanks. And before tax season.
what's that? Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Wow, this is nice. See, I can read this.
You're welcome. It's a little thing.
Darryl, this is what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You gotta print it out.
So I prepared something to say. I thought it's probably more effective with public here, but, so I didn't realize we were doing this roundtable session.
It's open, I mean, public meetings.
Yeah, I mean, I still,
This is a public meeting.
I still like to, if you guys are okay,
Do your thing,
I
man.
wanna
You
just
prepare,
kind
do your thing.
of preface how we before we roll into this, is that
Sure.
sure? All right, so, before I begin with our specific requests and some of these numbers, I want to ask you guys all a simple question, and it'll feel a bit dramatic, but I genuinely want you to imagine this. How would you feel waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you smell smoke, you find out your house is on fire, you call 911, you go outside, you're waiting, you're watching your house burn, and 10 minutes later, you find out that the truck that was responding broke down along the way. Right? Now, I know that sounds dramatic, but this is not a hypothetical. The past year alone, we have had 2 separate apparatus break down while responding to an emergency call. And that took place all while one of our aerial trucks remained out of service for approximately 2 years. Fortunately, in both these instances, there was ultimately not a life-saving emergency, but it takes one time for it to be that when it becomes one time too many. And I think we all agree that that is not a sustainable operating model. I do want to be very clear, though, while saying that, this is not a reflection at all around the committee that sits around this table. You guys, I can honestly say you've been extremely supportive to all of us in your tenure, as each of you have been on the committee. But what we're seeing is a cumulative effect of rapidly growing infrastructure in our area, historical budgetary challenges, long-term replacement cycles, increased call volume for us as a fire company, and rising apparatus costs. So this is a structural issue when it comes down to it, but it requires a structural solution. We greatly understand and appreciate the financial pressures that are facing the township this year. You guys are dealing with rising employee health insurance costs, broader operating increases, which make every budget decision a lot more difficult. And we certainly respect the careful financial balancing required of this body. We have more fire trucks here, right? So our request tonight is structured along long-term capital discipline and operational sustainability. The Raritan Township Fire Company has been the busiest fire company in Hunter County for more than 10 consecutive years, and probably more, if we look back that far. That's not a point of pride, although we do take great pride in being able to respond to calls.
It's just part of the effects, by the way.
Exactly. Thank you. We pulled the fire alarm. So we take a lot of pride in that, but that is an operational reality. Higher call volume means greater apparatus wear, increased maintenance costs, and elevated training demands to us as members. At the same time, Raritan Township, as you guys know better than anyone, continues to grow in population and ratables and commercial development and traffic volume. More homes, more businesses, and more infrastructure increase both call demand and risk exposure. Growth, I understand, brings value to the township, but it also increases our responsibility to be able to provide necessary services to the township. The Raritan Township Fire Company provides this level of service through a fully 100% volunteer organization. So if you look at all these people here, as well as the ones that just left, these are individuals who are fathers, sons, sisters, daughters, who are sitting home, playing with their kids, at a family party, watching a cheer competition, and when the tones drop, they're willing and able to drop everything for no compensation, to go put themselves out there to risk their lives from someone they don't even know. Now, if the township were required to provide an equivalent protection through a career department, conservatively, those annual costs would be in excess of $3 million alone for just salaries and benefits. That's completely exclusive of anything that we're requesting this evening, which would still need to happen. So I do believe that supporting and properly equipping the volunteer model definitely remains the most fiscal responsible investment that the township can make. So now let's get to some of the numbers and we put in front of you. Our 2026 budget request consists of 3 components.
Which document do you want to see?
You don't have to. We'll go back. We'll go back to it, but you can look at the. You could look at the breakout on the one that I sent you. It should have the budget on page 2, maybe. Yeah, so the first one is our operational support, which sustains our readiness and our core functions. So that's the all-in $168,000 and change. That's to keep the lights on to run this fire department annually. The second is POSHA-related items, and that supports firefighter safety and compliance. That's $32,000. That's not optional standards. That's not something that's negotiable. That is mandated protection for our members. The third is the one that will generate the conversation, and that is our long-term capital planning for apparatus management, or for apparatus replacement. That's $3.4 million, primarily for a 100-foot mid-mount tower ladder and a mini attack pumper. Fire apparatus is not discretionary equipment. It's mission-critical infrastructure with defined service life cycles. So there's life cycles on all of these things. To put it in context, in 2017, when the conversation first started around finding a replacement for Quint, one of our aerial apparatuses, the cost at that time was $1.6 million for replacement. Today, that same truck that we're requesting is now $2.4 million. So that's nearly $1 million increase in less than 10 years. These costs have not stabilized. They continue to increase. Every year, we delay replacements. Those prices rise, and the mechanical risk of each of those apparatus grows. So I know this sounds like a lot of money, and that's because it is. But I want to break that down a little bit into what that actually means if we have a way to involve our community in assisting with this initiative. If the truck was financed over 20 years, that capital request equates to approximately 0.6 of a cent on the tax rate. So for the average homeowner, that's roughly $25 to $30 per year, or $2.50 per month. That's the effect, based on our population, of the average taxpayer to fund the capital ask that we have this year. I understand, being a resident of Raritan Township, that every dollar matters. I understand that people are struggling with different things, keeping money in their pockets. But I think we'd be hard pressed to find a Raritan Township resident who wouldn't choose reliable fire service over a cup of coffee each month. Show me someone who would say no to that. That's what disciplined long-term public safety looks like. We're not asking for excess. We're just asking for sustainability. We're asking them to stabilize an aging fleet before a mechanical failure becomes a tragedy. We're asking to protect the township's rateable base, our ISO standing, and the safety, and most importantly, the safety of our firefighters and the residents. We also recognize that apparatus replacement does not end there. Trucks will continue to age, our equipment will continue to depreciate, but we have confidence in this committee that working with you going forward collaboratively, we're going to be able to implement, based on the 10-year plan that we have, let's implement a sustainable, structured, predictable capital planning going forward. This financing or this bonding, this 20-year bond that we brought up is a way to reset the replacement cycle in a structured and predictable way. This is all about a partnership between the fire company, the committee, and the residents of Raritan Township. Our goal is not to strain this budget cycle, but I know it feels that way. But our goal is to plan responsibly so that future committees are not faced with these types of same emergency decisions that you are all unfortunately faced with today. When someone in this town calls 911 in the middle of the night, the expectation is simple. A truck arrives, fully staffed, ready to go, and operationally sound. We're committed to working collaboratively, transparency, and within financial discipline. The volunteer model only works when we all work together and we have the residents of this township behind us. Tonight's request is about protecting that partnership and ensuring that when residents need us, we're ready. Thank you for allowing me a few moments to go over that, and we'll certainly like to have a dialogue or answer any questions that you guys have.
Questions? Yeah, one quick one. On the two trucks you're talking about, the big one, the 100-foot aerial, how long would you anticipate that to last? Does that last?
So projecting a 20-year life.
Oh, okay.
As long as the town doesn't get much bigger.
That's based upon fully custom oriented missiles.
That's what that first is, that,
Correct.
correct. There are stock options that are.
Why are we not looking at stock options?
We are.
We are, but we have to plan for the worst if the stock option isn't there. That's why that money is essentially what
And,
it is.
and those stock options are first come, first served.
They're first come, first served, the money has to be sitting there.
What do the stocks go for?
I think the last one went for 2.2 or sales and forwards.
The important thing to remember too with these is, the build time, right? So once we request this coming out of this meeting today, stock is quicker, but the build is 2-3 years now at this point.
Dale, I forget, have you run the numbers on the max amount we could invest in capital in total based upon the impact to our OpEx for the interest?
The maximum that we can invest.
Like, on average, we do 1.8 million in capital investments each year.
What we've been doing about, about 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is that where we need to be, or is there guidance that you can provide that would say, you go up 5, but the impact to your OpEx, because I know there's sort of a situation.
I think we had different guidance this year, Dale. Yeah, so from our Phoenix advisors, the idea would be if we're able to take a break and not spend or go out from bonding as much this year, because of we're butting up on, we're getting to the point where our debt is high, substantially high. So if we take a bit of a break this year and then move back, not necessarily trying to spend to make up for this year and just go back to spending the way we were next year, like literally just taking a break, would put us in a long-term better financial situation in that respect. So
Are we able to use the county AAA rating for something like this, or is that not a thing?
we have, but well, our rating is not, the savings is nominal between the county rating and our rating currently.
There's some costs associated with using their AAA rating, and it balances out.
So we think,
What does a break mean by what Phoenix has advised? Is it 0 capital?
no, just not very much. I would-
Not 2.5,
Not
2.1 million in capital?
We're probably around, somewhere between 1.8 and 5.
The one thing I'd like to highlight, because it feeds into what you guys are saying, if you notice in our 10-year plan, if we do this right, and we reset now and continue to plan, you'll notice years like 2029, 2032, and 2034, where we're not asking for no apparatus capital, because we have a plan and we've strategically mapped that out.
28 is 5.9, and you can hear what I'm asking there.
5.9 is 20.9 million, and that is driven by Station 2 replacement, which just started conversations. I put that in there. But from a truck standpoint, apparatus standpoint, it's just the 1.6 as of now. So, but that, I appreciate the ask. Yeah.
Here, there's so much capital
Absolutely.
investment, and to have long-term financial health, which is the way I think, we've got to be incrementalized each year, and so this is a hard year because we're having to go down on capital investment average, rather than
Well, suggested, doesn't mean you have to do it.
Correct.
So that is the other side of it.
That's why I said, what's the max that you would recommend? Is it 5 million? Like, what is the max?
Well, there's a struggle between what the recommendation is and what they need.
It has an impact on our OpEx because we have interest payments associated with more capital bonding.
We also have some money set aside. What,
We have about,
We should have 5 if, when Woodmont finishes, because they owe us 100 towards the truck, which we negotiated, well, we not negotiated 100 towards the truck. So that's coming when Woodmont is done.
Their DOA is supposed to sometime next year.
Right, but, I mean, that money will be there. I mean, that was
I'm just talking about what's the cap.
yeah, because we both put away 200,000, right? So then you're gonna have another 100,000 that come your way. And you would hope that that's gonna come within this calendar year for the fire company, right? So you do have 5, hopefully, that you're planning with.
Where's the meeting?
This is the TAC 21, that's what I was
It's
looking
TAC
at.
21 replacement.
But
So,
that, you basically, because we didn't get it last year.
We didn't get it last
it's pushed to this year.
yeah, if you look at 25 and 26, in 25, we asked for the 2.4, which is the quick replacement, which is what we're asking for now, and 75 for a deputy vehicle, that was falling apart. we self-funded that deputy vehicle, we dipped into savings to self-fund that, so that goes off, that gets removed, and now we're in 2026, and that's my concern, is if we don't draw a line after 2026 here, well, guess what, now in 2027, our squad is theoretically, by NFPA standards, should be retired or out of service. So it's just a snowball effect if we don't get this under control now.
What are the penalties for these things that end up aging out of the fire rules?
People die. I know that's a cliche answer, but yeah.
It's running nominally. And although it's at the end of its life, do you have to retire it if it's running nominally?
If something were, God forbid, to happen on scene and it had passed NFPA standards, and some lawyer could come in and say this should have been retired, and the reason for the loss of life was because this truck was not functioning properly or was beyond NFPA standards, I would assume there would be a big legal.
They can go into reserve status retired, which reserve status means they're not running there every day, it's sitting there, it's available, so when something else goes out of service.
Still needs to meet standards.
Right. Still needs to meet standards. Parts availability, you're not guaranteed parts after 20 years. That's part of the.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because as we've seen, the maintenance bills are going up because of the aging fleet. How are we seeing, how is that affecting the operation?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about, so certainly more trucks in the past 3 years have been out of service than in my first 2 years with the department. I've only been here 5 years, so the chief can probably speak to more. But I don't think it takes anyone at this table to know that from a long-term standpoint, we're spending a lot more money just by holding on to these things and band-aiding them as they break down versus really investing in something or having a plan to invest in something that's new and really sustainable. The maintenance should be extremely minimal, especially during the first 10 years of the vehicle.
So in maintenance, there's some that DPW manages, but when it becomes specific to the fire side of things, that's got to go out.
Correct. And Dale can attest to this. I mean, the DPW management, while I appreciate, the way you guys handled this last year with making sure you're now giving us, allowing that $50,000 remaining under the DPW budget, we blow through that very quickly because we're doing repair, we're doing catch up on the repair side as well. We forego required annual maintenance in 2024 because we just didn't have the budget for it.
We haven't done required fire pump testing in 4 years. And when we come to do your ISO rating, that's going to hurt us.
Why wasn't that done?
No money. No budget for it. By the time we get done putting them back together and piecing repairs back into it, we're out of money to spend on testing and post-testing.
And that's going to come out of the operations, right? Operations support.
Yeah, there was an increase to the vehicle maintenance line for $130,000 to accommodate repair, potential repairs for the vehicles for the 2026 budget.
Other questions?
That's just for fire, right?
Yeah, we added the vehicle maintenance for fire repairs.
Right. Because over the last year, we did quick repair, which was funded, and we did minimal repairs and testing on everything else, all we did was preventative maintenance. And we generated the defect list, which I shared with Bob, and Dale, we just got quotes for that, we quoted last year.
Well, that's all been.
For this budget year.
Right.
That gets us back to zero, and we still have preventative maintenance, testing, and everything else. And we try to be conscious, of preventative maintenance, just because there's certain things we look at every year that we don't necessarily have to do every year. That will cycle off, put on a 2-year plan, oil changes, chassis inspections, the pump service, that'll be fun. There's like generator service, there's things that we cut out that are not necessarily needed every year.
Recommended.
They're recommended every year, but we do it quite smart because we don't, we can get away with not doing that every year.
Can someone help me with the timing of how this would work? When it comes to acquiring a new piece of, or a new fire truck, for example, do we have to have that money pretty much in the bank ready to go when that truck is ordered? If it falls off the line or comes off the line, we have to have that money to lock in that purchase?
Yeah, so if you look after the budget is passed and whatever is decided, you will have to go out for temporary financing to secure the funds, at which time then the order can be placed.
But if we don't find when that falls off the line, and it takes 2 to 3 years to get, how does that come into play?
Well, financing is already there. So it will just be one of those things where we work with the, once it gets funded, that this.
It just stays, it seems like it's,
Yeah, we'll continually pay interest on it.
no, that's my point, right? So it just seems,
I mean, that's the
Something I don't see is the option for a like-for-like replacement of and what that will cost.
So that,
Is that somewhere on here?
I don't know that I,
What's the like for like, what do you mean by that?
A similar apparatus, a straight stick ladder of similar design.
plus is that 1 point,
1.7 for 35.
yeah.
For the custom and then
Correct.
probably less for the off the line.
Yeah, so when I broke, because I broke that down, again, by resident, right? And I know, I'm trying to think that way because I respect and appreciate the situation that you guys are in. Budgets are tight, and I'm trying to, I really want to find a way where, and this may or may not be appropriate, but for the residents to understand where we're at, to push you guys to almost give you the all clear to be able to raise some of these funds in taxes because it's going to go towards fire protection. So the difference over that 20-year term between the like-for-like Quinn, which, let me preface this by saying, I would strongly not recommend a like-for-like because of the 75-foot versus 100-foot. I think 100-foot is really going to be, should be a non-negotiable minimum in this town. We were at Union Hotel last night, which we're going to be dual response. We're not getting up there with a 75-foot. You really need a 100-foot. But the like-for-like between a 75-foot and the mid-mount 100-foot mid-mount was $2.75 per household per month, or per year. That was because we're only talking about $500,000 spread over 20 years.
Yeah, I acknowledge that. I'm also looking at the next replacement of the current tower ladder. Just come in, we have 5 more budget years away.
Right.
I also recognize there's several bucket ladders in the area. I think Jersey City has 2 bucket ladders.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to get the taxpayers to buy into the Raritan Township needs the same number of buckets as Jersey City, especially when we have quite a few for mutual aid in this area. So I really do want the fire department to think about what are alternatives that are cost effective that we can fund now. Because right now, as you're hearing from Dale, it's really, really difficult to fund a $3-point-something million.
Sure.
Anything.
Sure. What I would say mutual aid is, mutual aid is a supplement. It's not an answer. It's not it's not operationally sound for where the emergency exists. So I hear what you're saying, but when you truly need a tower ladder, it means there's something legit where minutes count, seconds count, you know this, right? So to rely on mutual aid, I do not feel is a sustainable option. It certainly helps us in every situation where we require mutual aid, but from a first due response, we truly need that apparatus to sit in town. There was something else I was going to say.
So Mike, just to jump on this mutual aid problem, when we say mutual aid is a term that we throw out, and it sounds like you're going to get help, but you would have to ask Chief, because he'd probably know best. The amount of times that we request mutual aid, or we're requested for mutual aid, and nobody shows up, and then you gotta send out a second tone for a different company's mutual aid, you're probably 20, 25 minutes into a call by the time you go for a second mutual aid. So mutual aid is not like in the paid world where my local PD next door is coming to help me because their guy's on duty. You're calling guys who are asleep when you've already shown up on scene and you've established, oh crap, I need mutual aid. And you call for mutual aid and they're waking up out of bed to get out of their bed. And if they don't have a crew and one guy shows up, that break's not coming, and by then you're calling another town over. So that's our mutual aid that we use. The term is pretty loose. It's like mutual aid if they can get there, maybe.
Are you all engaged in any conversations with Flemington, given that they have a station with apparatus?
They're on all of our boxes and they rarely get the truck there.
I know, I'm talking about one fire department.
No, I'm saying Flemington is on all of our boxes. And that truck that they just got is rarely makes it to the scene.
So you're talking about mutual, like joining as one department, like a joint.
Are those discussions happening, given that they fund and operate completely independently? And I understand there's some things there that I don't.
So
they're funded by the borough.
Just a quick thought on that. Our local departments, say Three Bridges, or say Flemington Borough, if we were to put them on all our calls with us and say, hey, do you guys want to do it 50-50 or whatever, 100-100, say it's not 50-50, but you guys are going to, we would crumble their town with the amount of calls that we have, like a Three Bridges, how many calls do they have a year?
150.
150 calls, and we're running 800. So like every local municipality around here would absolutely crumble at the amount of calls we're going to let. So that's.
And I assume they would request, because we would be the requesters more than not. I'm assuming they would request something.
I'm saying why not have one unified fire department, because it seems a little like we're going time and time again, funds and boroughs funding an independent fire department. We circle them and we provide mutual, but it's not really mutual. And, you know, I understand the politics behind why that is or isn't feasible, but it seems a little silly to just keep going with two independent agencies and not at least have a conversation about the fiscal benefits of that and operational benefits.
Yeah, I hear you. I think, you know, it's worth the conversation. I don't think it's a conversation, that we would have directly with them. I mean, that's probably the governing bodies that oversee, I would assume. I mean,
this is post-municipal funding. We wouldn't have any say in combined departments.
The other thing, Mayor, the other thing too, to answer your question around, this.
I'm not saying no to them, I'm just saying I don't.
The stick versus the bucket is, we came forward today, this is a lot of money, we all know that. We're truly trying to say, okay, we feel that we certainly need this today, but if this town continues at the same trajectory that it has been, we're gonna need this at a minimum of 10 years. And we don't want to come back to you asking for another truck, like to replace one that we just got in 10 years because we've blown through and our needs have far surpassed our supply. So we're truly trying to say, yes, might a stick work for us for the next few years? Yeah. Could we get by if nothing major happened? Probably. But we're really trying to think about this as a 20-year plan.
Well, just a question. So the 10-year plan, so as you guys calculated, you do, it would cost the average taxpayer $30 a year for the time. Okay.
Correct. So to be clear on that, that's for the ask for this year. If we were to bond that over 20 years. So
got it.
My hope would be, listen, we can do that, we can get back on track, and then we collectively have to figure out a strategy for a replacement cycle going forward.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's different. Because you get close for 30 years. I mean, I make a donation right now.
It's 30 good.
Yeah. Take 3 households.
Is this the order that is set, or is there leeway in moving some of these around, bringing some forward or pushing some out?
There could be leeway. That order is set by age of apparatus based on NFPA standards.
Not necessarily by how well the apparatus is retiring and running.
Sure.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely.
Other questions?
Great presentation.
Thank you.
You want to go through the operating too?
Yeah, if you'd like us to be happy to. So you guys, you know what the operating, we're asking for, we work closely with Dale and Committeeman King on this, the maximum aid to firefighters as regulated, or fire companies as regulated by New Jersey State is $165,564. We are asking for that maximum, and that is 50% is designated to fire-related operations. We're also asking for another $3,000 for uniforms. Currently, we have about 60% of our department that might be aggressive, but is equipped with uniforms.
And what was it this past year? What was this number? Like, how is it changing?
What do we do for uniforms in 2025?
Not for the
No, the other
uniforms,
one.
I mean for the.
I thought it was.
It was 150 last year.
Yeah.
Prior to that, it was 95.5 until the beginning of time, I feel like. And we were able to request more, but Dale and Bob, they brought these forward.
So the 150 last year, but only 123 was charged.
Yes, that was because we took in invoices for repairs, and rather than not do the repairs, we just reclassed it. Because as you can see, there was $50,000 for repairs, I guess, for them.
Then we spent 80, okay, that's where it went.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted
That's
to.
what we overspent.
Yeah.
So we just cut them back to right bucket.
Okay.
Yeah. Then if you look at the POSHA requests, in an environment right now where we're hurting for volunteers, we have record numbers, through some aggressive, good leadership on the recruiting committee, bringing juniors and a lot of younger firefighters. That comes with a cost. So $16,000 in physicals. I believe the cost to us has increased as well. Quadrupled. The cost from 100 and occupational health has quadrupled this past year. So we're going to need more. We want to continue to plan for the future. We need to get new members in here.
And what line item is that on?
I'm sorry, that is POSHA number 1.
It's advertising.
Yeah, that's it.
This is advertising.
Yeah, that's what he got.
Oh,
That's why he was like 60,000 for advertising.
yeah.
Okay.
We could put a billboard in when they get their physical, but I don't know.
It would pay.
And then,
This is what we're looking at.
oh, gotcha. Okay. And so that 5,000 that you're looking at is for safety equipment repair, and then everything else is for, your normal, fit testing, SCBA certs, refreshers, those things. Okay. So now if we move to the, capital, and we've already talked at great length about the truck, the 3.2, but we're still asking for another $179,000. The main expense in there are related to radios and communication. This is something that we did ask for last year. Didn't receive, obviously because of other budgetary restraints. But we applied for a grant. We did not get that. So we are trying alternative measures. But essentially, right now, there are places in the township where we cannot speak to each other, even if we're on the scene together. We also cannot interact with police. We cannot interact with hospital staff. So we really want to make sure that our officers are equipped to be able to run one command and coordinate all operations from one point.
So radio would enable that?
Yes.
Would they also function with county
Mhm.
communications?
County, everybody. Police, fire, EMS,
OEM.
OEM.
Where am I looking for these radios?
I don't know where you're looking for the radios, but I've got them. The cost I have is $31,123.
That's the place.
Yeah.
We have the upgrades every so often because of the channels or.
The channels we program ourselves, that's a zero cost.
I have my printouts.
Um, I mean, some of the radios that we're working with now are 20 years old, and they're just, yeah, at the end of their life, it's, the wattages have changed so much, and you go in digital,
I know. And we tried to categorize this $179,000 as needs versus should have but wants, right? So like one of our wants is this, what we call a turtle system, right? We invested in EV training last year because, as you may or may not know, electric vehicles are difficult, if not impossible yet, to put out. So there's something that Jersey City actually invented. They came and provided us a demo, and we would like, these can be used for EVs, which critically important in a lot of the parking garages that we're seeing, and some of these infrastructure that are being built, but also they can serve as other fire suppression where necessary, so you can use them as not just for vehicles. Fire hose is something we have to replace every year as we run through it. So that's another need. And then
a lot of that the hoses carry over from last year that we didn't finish.
You've got crew radios and officer radios.
Yeah.
Those need to be purchased in combination.
Not necessarily.
They do not.
No.
So I think I was hearing you correctly on the turtles. It's a need or it's not a need, because it's down there, so
It's a need/want. We should have it, given the environment has changed, but if we're saying, hey, what could we get by without, I should say?
yes, a need/want doesn't compute for me. It's either a need or a want.
Right.
So it's a want.
So it's a want we should have.
It's still not clear, but they need a want. They need.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
after going to the Union Hotel last night, I'm gonna say it's a need at this point.
What's it do, smother? I mean, we're on topic, does it smother?
Actually, it's underneath.
It sounds like it's a need for plumbing.
We have the same parking structures in our.
Same way.
We've had EV fires
They're underneath
already.
the charging station inside.
So it's not.
Actually, the Union Hotel doesn't have chargers. Our enclave has EV chargers inside the parking
Yeah, this
structure.
is one of those
So you
things.
slide it underneath the car and it protects. Long story short is the turtle's not putting the car fire out. The turtle's protecting the structure that it's in. So if we burn it, the car burns at 10,000 degrees, those batteries are just insane amount of money or insane amount of heat. That's saving the building. Like any engineer, after there's a fire, if we don't keep it cool enough, they're gonna deem the building a tear down. And Enclave, the building is built around parking structure.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Great design.
Oh, that's
Awesome. I'm not sure if you signed on.
Ashley, did you have a comment?
No, I think said it. I was just gonna say, with the resources and how hot they burn, how long it takes us, thousands of gallons to put it out, the amount of manpower, it's honestly, the cost, is a lot more, I think, in the long run for, the amount of time that we spend there versus having the resources to be able to clean it and put it out.
We have 8.7 million in capital requests across all the departments with an average spend of 2.5 million.
No, I understand.
With the suggestion to not spend 2.5 by our auditors, so, advisors, sorry, not auditors.
Those advisors are not waking up at 2 in the morning.
Wow.
I know, I agree, I agree.
I mean, you heard what Chief had to say, you guys were all here.
We are not putting in for overtime if you,
Cost avoidance.
Watching follows you home.
right.
I have no more questions.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody, for what you do as well.
Thanks for coming out tonight.
It was just invented.
Oh, right now.
I was just curious. Yeah, find out. We can't do it. Like.
This is where
I don't think, from what it sounds like, the that's a so it is a product with multiple uses. So you like that? Oh, there's a fire down his chimney. Christmas lights on fire. They put it out. You gotta be in it. We'll keep 2 more weeks. I appreciate you guys hearing us out.
That's okay.
We have.
We got more work to do.
I know.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Bob.
Thank you. I'm gonna send you notes, send that to everyone, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Trying to help. We're from the government, we're here to help.
We're here to talk.
So you have another grilling chair? You need room? Oh. Oh, no. We all understand this. There's been, each year we have this, we're just not able to catch up. Oh, no. The problem is we started this long-term thinking late in this game, and that's the problem we are suffering. Yes, So Gail, can you start another pandemic or something of that nature to help us through the next one? We got a bunch of money for something. This is government out of control.
All right, public comment. Any public, motion to open public comment?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Site is also in favor. Motion to close public comment.
Motion second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, adjourned. 1 minute to 6.
Man, you're on a roll here. Hey, Joe. Beautiful day today, wasn't it? Sunshine.
Oh, man. My driveway is almost melted. Almost.
Really?
Almost. I missed my snowblower wasn't working for the first night one, and it's
All right, we're going to get started. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence to remember our men and women serving in the armed forces, particularly those serving in troubled areas around the world. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, you've all seen the agenda for tonight's regularly scheduled meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda, or is there an amendment required?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Seifel?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Tisch?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. All right, public comment. It is the policy of the committee that public comment be limited to 3 minutes per person. Public comment shall be permitted on items concerning the agenda only. Additional time will be allotted at the end of the meeting for public comment on any issue. Do I have a motion to open public comment?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are open to public comment. Agenda topics only? Yes, of course. Just state your name.
Oh, so I'm Amanda Cirillo. I'm coming from the FRSD Color Run, and
okay.
we are seeking approval to hold it once again on May 17th.
Great, so if we have any questions, I'm glad you're here. Thank you.
That'll be up in a minute.
Yeah, we have it on the agenda to talk about.
Oh, okay, so I don't talk now.
Oh, it's the public comment. You can say whatever you'd like for 3 minutes.
No, I don't already.
Thanks for being here.
Okay. Seeing no other public comment, do I have a motion to close public comment?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next is Resolution 26-255, a green team appointment. And I know he's not here. I don't think...
Sean's here.
Oh, Sean? Oh, great. So you are here. I had heard you weren't going to be here tonight, so let's see. We have
You need the oath?
the oath.
Can we move this just a minute, because our clerk didn't bring that over with.
Oh, I have it
It's
in
not the
here.
one that's in the packet?
It's in here.
I have it right here, too.
There you go.
Thanks. It's a clean copy, too. Thank you so much.
All right. So, Sean, if you'd like to be sworn, we got to make the motion first.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get back to the right page. So do I have a motion on Resolution 26-255 for Sean Connaughton to be a member of the Green Team?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Seifel?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Tisch?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. All right, now we can do the oath of office.
Awesome. And thank you for volunteering on the
Yeah.
Green Team. It'll be great. Thank you.
Happy to have you. It's a good group of people.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean, you want to raise your right hand for me?
You can come up next week.
I state your name.
I, Sean Knox,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the governments established
to the same and to the government established
in the United States and in the state of New Jersey,
in the United States and in the state of New Jersey,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all duties of Green Team
perform all duties of Green Team
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Well done.
He needs to sign something, right? Yeah. Before you leave, you need to sign that, yeah. And we'll see you at the next meeting.
Okay,
Page 2, bottom, new business.
Okay, new business. Scouting first responder event, April 30th, 2026, from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. There's a request for approval to hold the event at the municipal building, waiver of the specialty event fee, and to have a food truck.
They do this every year. It's pretty well attended. I know that all the troops show up, so it's pretty nice.
Sure, the CERT team.
Yep, yep.
Do I have a motion? to approve?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now a special event, the Color Run on May 18th, 2025, 9:30 to 11:30. And there,
It should be the 17th.
What is it?
I saw the application, I was gonna bring that up, we just need to have it corrected.
so it's May 17th.
Oh, in the application, it's correct. On the agenda, it's wrong.
Looks like we just moved it forward from last year.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah, well, 2025 is definitely wrong.
Yeah.
I caught that one, okay.
All right, you're good.
So would you like to say a few things about it?
Sure. It's our 10th anniversary this year. Yes, so we're very excited for it. We're hoping for a really good turnout. The township has provided for us throughout the years, so we really do appreciate it. Last year, they also added on the mowing on JP Case Boulevard. I don't know if you remember that. We did appreciate that, and we would request that happen again. And then the other thing is the police, the OEM, the normal things that we asked for, and then a request to waive the event fee.
And Karen, was there any issue with the mowing last year?
No, I don't think there was any.
It's not listed on the public works section of the application, so do we want to make sure that they get advised? Because it's blank.
Did you request that in your email? I mean, your letter?
No, and I didn't know where to put it because I know last year we brought it up in the meeting, so I didn't know where it went.
All right.
I should mention it in the email.
If you or Crystal just want to send me an email, and then I'll forward that to the DPW and just make sure that they're good to go.
Sure, yeah, that would be great.
Thanks.
Anything new for this year, or all running the same program?
Nothing new for this year. Everything should be the same.
The route's the same?
What's that?
The route is the same?
The route is the same. Well, we changed a little bit of it, but it doesn't impact anybody here. We're just not going to go down like this one street and turn around after 100 meters. But yeah, the tables will be the same. Everything's going to be in the same location. We might have a couple more fun things.
10th anniversary.
Yeah, it's a fantastic community event. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
Well, then, on that note, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve on the 17th. Yes.
The 17th of the year 2026.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
there you go.
Looking forward to it.
David, you have your new green team member here, Sean.
Yes.
Good job.
We made him chair. You're all good.
You know what?
Thank you very much.
We waited as long as we could, we said, where's
Yeah.
David, where's David?
Okay, 2026 Community Day date. Now, we have to set a date, if I recall,
yeah.
Karen, and this is usually September, the third weekend in September.
It's been historically either the third or the fourth weekend, just depending on like where, there's Rosh Hashanah, I think, is often around that time.
Yeah.
Rosh Hashanah is the 12th.
Try to be aware of that. And we tried it on a Sunday one time and felt like attendance was low.
Yeah.
Last year, the attendance wasn't as high as it had been in years past, but we had talked about, I think one of the things that will be a good draw is the fact that you had the beer garden last year, and that didn't get confirmed until about 10 days before the event. So if we can get it confirmed earlier on, we can advertise it more, et cetera, and, have more of a draw.
I will make sure that organization does that.
Good job. So the one thing I would say, we've been doing it from 12 to 4. I would suggest it to be 12 to 5 now that we're doing the beer garden. Just add an extra hour there for people to hang, because I think the people, the younger kids, they're going to be filtering away, like 3-ish.
Yeah.
And then you got 3 to 5 to do the beer garden.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Do you think the not having the classic cars helps not having them? Is there any opinion on that?
So from what I heard, because I wasn't at the 2020 4 events. What I heard is that it was separate and there wasn't a lot of crossover.
Yeah, it was
but-
up front, and it was, yeah,
And the reason we do that is because the cars leave before
it's over.
it's over, and then you've got them leaving while people are trying to walk. So it's why we held it in that location. If we talked about maybe just doing a separate event with just the classic cars, or you can bring it back. I did hear that the organizer is not necessarily going to continue to do it.
There are other people now involved.
So that we could, so, I mean, he's been my primary contact.
He's still engaged, but not primary, they're not the primary.
Okay. So, I mean, we are looking to establish a recreation committee. We're going to have an ordinance introduced for that, and I would say that maybe those kinds of recommendations can come from that committee once it gets up and running. It should be up and running within a couple months, and they can do the fine tuning. But it is something to like start doing the outreach sooner rather than later.
And Yom Kippur starts at sundown on the 20th, on Sunday, September 20th. So I
Yeah.
think that third weekend of September works.
The 19th?
19 or 26?
Yeah, the 19th I think works. The 26th doesn't work as well. It looks like there is a week-long holiday that occurs that covers that date.
We're starting to get late.
All right, so
Yeah.
19th.
So the only thing that we need to be aware of is if there's any other events going on in the community, because I know in the past we've had a conflict, like with Flemington doing a street fair the same day.
So we gotta advertise first, is what you're saying.
Yeah, tell them, we're doing
Get
it.
it on the books now, right?
So I think it's tentatively the 19th.
Okay.
I mean, if there's a major conflict, then I think we would have to.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's the weekend they traditionally do their Jazz Fest.
Well, let's see.
And they used to be on a Friday, but now I think it's shifted to Saturday. I don't know what the plans are for this year, but.
That's Flemington?
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah,
Is that all day or evening? Or?
it's usually early evening and into the evening, so it really shouldn't conflict.
I know that when we had an event in the past where if we didn't think it conflicted, they were not happy with us for having it at the same time. The other option is to go to the first weekend in October. That does give us more time for when everybody's back in school to do the outreach. Because that is, like, if you do it on the 19th, they're only back for like 2 weeks, and we use the virtual backpack to do the outreach, et cetera, so we won't be able to gain as much or build as much momentum if we do it.
So like the
earlier.
3rd, like that first weekend?
Well, I just looked up the Jazz Fest. It says it's scheduled for September 12th.
Oh, I didn't see it posted.
Is that the right year?
The year of our Lord 2026.
Thank you.
But I don't know if it's set yet, so.
No, it's an annual event, maybe they moved it up, so then it would be okay.
Oh, no, that's 2020, their website still has 2025. The Central Jersey Jazz Festival held in
What was it in 2025?
September 13 and 14.
It's usually around the same time.
So the second weekend of September, I think, is what is projected.
I say, put a stake in the ground, go for the 19th.
Let's go for the 19th.
Yeah, they haven't set their date.
Yeah.
19th?
One last comment on the beer. I heard someone from the Moose Lodge who provides, I think, the beer tent. Would we be able to allow people to have a beer and walk around, or do they have to be in the fenced-in area?
Our chief of police last year said that he would prefer not to have people walking around.
But you can.
No.
No, that's why we had it cordoned off.
That's correct. It's
You
up
had to follow the
the
rules.
chief and the clerk have to both sign off on the protocols and the process, and that included they wanted it contained into a fenced area. Those are the people that will approve it, and whatever they approve, they must.
Can you do a larger fence?
Yeah, we certainly can evaluate what that fenced area
Make
is.
a prettier garden.
We should be more of a draw.
A prettier garden.
A prettier garden. I'm going to help you with that.
I will
okay?
give the feedback.
Okay.
I will help with a prettier beer garden.
And last year there was like we're all thrown together like within 3 days.
Yeah.
How the fencing was going to go.
The
up.
construction fence and,
A
yeah.
little more time.
I'm taking notes now that we have a date. I'm going to relay this soon. They're going to forget. I'll remind them several times.
So do I have a motion for September 19th?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, the employee picnic, setting the date of May 22nd. This one's probably less controversial.
Yeah, this is the Friday before Memorial Day, which is what we did last year. It was a good way to kick off our summer hours, which is a resolution in your packet as well. I think the employees were really appreciated the fact that it was kind of like a welcome summer and, enter into that. So it went well. And it's usually a little cooler in May than it is in June, which is what we were doing. There was one year we had to move inside because it was so hot.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's a fantastic event. Fully support it.
okay.
So do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Great.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. On to the ordinances. Ordinance 2604, Affordable Housing Heart Commerce Overlay Zone and Introduction. And I've been advised that I need to say all the titles of these, so I'm going to read them. An ordinance of the Township of Raritan establishing a new Heart Commerce Overlay Zone District in compliance with the Township's Housing Element and Fair Share Plan in connection with the Township's fourth round affordable housing obligations. Do I have a motion for this introduction?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 2605, Affordable Housing 18 Minneocon Overlay Zone Introduction. An ordinance of the Township of Raritan establishing a new 18 Minneocon Overlay Zone District in compliance with the Township's Housing Element and Fair Share Plan in connection with the Township's fourth round affordable housing obligation. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 2606, Affordable Housing 206 Reville Overlay Zone Introduction. An ordinance of the Township of Raritan establishing a new 206 Reville Road Overlay Zone District in compliance with the Township's Housing Elements and Fair Share Plan in connection with the Township's fourth round affordable housing obligations. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Affordable housing, there's only a couple more. Affordable housing 314 to 324 Highway 202 Overlay Zone Introduction. An ordinance of the Township of Raritan establishing a new 314 to 324 Highway 202 Overlay Zone District in compliance with the Township's Housing Elements and Fair Share Plan in connection with the Township's fourth round affordable housing obligations. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 2608, Affordable Housing 454 Highway 202 Case Boulevard Overlay Zone Introduction. An ordinance of the Township of Raritan establishing a new 454 Highway 202 Case Boulevard Overlay Zone District in compliance with the Township's Housing Element and Fair Share Plan in connection with the Township's fourth round affordable housing obligations. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Do I have a roll call, please?
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 2609, Affordable Housing Highway 202 South Main Street Overlay Zone and Introduction. This is an ordinance of the Township of Raritan establishing a new Highway 202 South Main Street Overlay Zone District in compliance with the Township's Housing Elements and Fair Share Plan in connection with the Township's fourth round affordable housing obligations. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Thank you, everyone. All right, consent agenda.
You're on a roll, Brad. You're going to break my record.
No, I better not. Okay. Consent agenda, all matters listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion on these items. If discussion is desired, the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Is there anything, any request to remove from the consent agenda? No. Do I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda, Resolution 26-255 through 26-258?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Cypress?
Yes.
Mr. McKay?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Okay, department reports. You see our department report for the snow removal, a relatively cheap snowstorm, I would say.
Versus the other.
Little snow melt on that one, a little salt.
Correspondence, if you saw the Raritan Headwaters, the well testing that was conducted, I thought we got a really informative report from Raritan Headwaters about what is and is not in our well water.
Well. Since we have someone in the audience that may know something about this.
Anything you'd like to add about the well water testing?
Well, we were talking about possibly coming before you, giving you a little more detail into the report at a future date. Was that something the board is interested in?
Yeah, if you can provide us some year-over-year data to see, are we seeing an uptick, or is it about the same? That's really, and anything that might be popping out that's unusual that might be showing up in the results.
Okay, we'll try to schedule that in late February, March sometime.
Thank you.
It's got to pour over the data.
Here we go.
Compare it to Tapwood.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Are things like this helpful to the public, you know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about it maybe.
Yes, maybe it depends on
Yeah, I don't know.
what's in it. Yeah.
I don't want people to get excited about coliform bacteria.
Okay, financial claims, payment of the bills. You see the bills?
Yes.
Do I have a motion to pay the bills? $450,472.44.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Mr. Cypress?
Yes.
Mr. McKay?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Okay, liaison reports. Board of Health, we did have one application this evening, which was approved. I do not have an additional police report. Of course, the police are out doing great work. I actually had a vehicle go off the road. They lost their tire. They were on the wheel, went off the road right in front of my house. An officer came and helped them, and a tow truck came, and it was resolved really within 30 minutes. It was all gone like you never even knew it happened. So they're doing a great job out there, keeping people safe and also helping people in trouble. And that's all I have. Deputy Mayor for 2.
Thank you, Mayor. So planning board, we didn't have any applications heard, but we did notice for a tour that the planning board will be going on to Diamond Nation. We're going to walk the property. There's an application that we've heard initially. There were lots of questions generated, and it's just a very unique property with some uniqueness to the asks for some of the things that they've applied for. So we felt, while it's not normal for us to go on a field trip, that this warranted the ability to actually see and understand and kind of visualize everything that's going on that property so that we can help address some of those questions and pose them directly there. So we're going on a field trip on Saturday, February 21st at 9 a.m., and it's been noticed. And the entire planning board will be there, walking the property with...
You were able to get everyone to go.
Apparently, we're all going to be there at 9 a.m. on Saturday. So,
We're taking a school bus. There's going to be lunch boxes.
I had to get a release form from my parent. My mother's here to sign off on it. So anyway, so that's what's going on in the planning board. Open Space Advisory just continued to be very aggressive with acquisition of properties, looking at farmland preservation. So just really pleased how that's coming together and what we've been able to accomplish with that group's advisement, et cetera. And then the Environmental Committee met. You saw their the report that they shared there, and they're continuing to work on their annual calendar of events and plans. I don't think I had a true appreciation until sitting in the conversation to understand all the different things and events that they do throughout the year. So it's not like they have, a green day. It's like, all the things that they do. And they recently had an event where the kids were, it was a sewing event with the seeds where you plant them in like milk jugs and everything, and that was really well attended. So I think they'd like to continue to do that in what they've already been doing, which has been really successful. So I'm sure that calendar of events will be shared more formally, but just really great work that they do. This is my first year being a liaison to Environmental Committee, and it's been really informative. So
Great, thank you. Committeeman McDade.
Let's see, the Agriculture Advisory Committee only meets a couple times a year, so we haven't had any meetings yet this year. The court's continuing to do a great job. They're handling the volume of cases, which is a tremendous volume. And then the historians are ramping up their project to complete the renovation of the historic one-room schoolhouse that's located just in front of Lowe's. We've got some insulation, sheetrocking, painting to do, and when the weather gets better, we'll also have exterior painting. It's a goal to finish this by the end of the year in honor of our semi-quincentennial.
That's great. That's a great thing to do.
Karen, hold your breath on this one. It seems like it's taken 250 years to do. Wow. You're not too far off.
Thank you. Committeeman Sipos.
Thank you, Mayor. RTMUA, meeting will be on Thursday, so no report there. OEM search, just Nixle sign up. That's our emergency broadcast system. Very important. Public Works doing a great job. They were out salting, as you saw in your reports earlier, fixing vehicles. They're doing a great job, as always, recovering from that big storm from a few weeks ago. And rescue, no update at this time. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Committeeman King.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing new to report from last week.
Excellent.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, public comment. It is now.
Actually, there's one more under liaison reports.
Oh.
We didn't know where to put this.
Oh, okay.
Summer intercession from Karen.
It's not intercession with a C, it's intercession with an S.
Sure.
We're not interceding.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Are we marching? We're holding the intercession for the summer. Basically, I'm making an announcement that the enrollment will be opening up in the next week to 10 days. And it's a fast and furious to get your position.
Yep.
Does a communication go out to the schools? How does it get communicated?
We post it on the website.
Right.
And everybody's watching.
Within an hour, it gets booked.
And the app, I would assume, will have a communication go out on the app?
We'll be pushing it out. Yeah. So it's basically, they're already calling when, and we don't really have to advertise. As soon as you tell one person, the entire network knows that. I mean, we do, but the entire network knows that it's online, get in there. And because they all want to go to one school versus another, and they all want to get their friends paired off and all that.
Yeah, and then you get a wait list. Like it's within an hour, it's booked. And I have people calling me saying, how do I this? How do I that? And I'm like, get on the
Maybe
list.
you should start a bidding war. You need to raise money.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it needs to be expanded.
We only have 2 facilities. And so there's actually and I don't know what governs this, but if you exceed a certain number of people, you are required to have police presence there at all times. So we try and stay under that threshold so that we do not have to have officers on site.
Understood. All right, thank you for that update. Now time for public comment on any issue limited to 3 minutes per person. Do I have a motion to open the public comment?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion to close public. Oh, were you coming up for public comment? Okay,
No.
I wasn't sure.
Good night, David.
Sure. Okay. Motion to close public comment.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you see the upcoming meetings. We have now a motion for the upcoming meetings? Okay, I don't want a motion for it.
That should be there.
Okay, we don't have to go back to executive session, so motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, adjourned at 7:29.